Yes, people, welcome back to my channel, Albert JTV, another live Q&A. So yeah, welcome aboard, guys. Just want to say a quick thank you to the people that have recently subscribed to my channel. Your support is very, very much appreciated, and I appreciate the feedback because like I said before, it helps me grow the channel. So yeah, live Q&A time. So hopefully people tune in. Whoever does tune in, can you let me know if you can hear me well, or if you get any feedback in terms of the microphone set that I'm using, but I believe it's okay. Done all the testing that I could do, so hopefully, fingers crossed, there's no issues with the sound. So yeah, about half an hour before I came on, I saw the breaking news that Henrik Mkhitaryan has finally left Arsenal. I think they terminated the contract, was it by mutual consent? So again, another player leaving the club. No sell-on value, man. No money for him. I think Mkhitaryan was at Arsenal for 2 years. Not a successful 2 years. Actually, to be honest with you, I don't particularly think he had a successful time in England, full stop. Initially started well at Manchester United when he came to England quite a few years ago now, but probably for me, one of the worst ever swap deals in Premier League history with Henrik Mkhitaryan and Alexis Sanchez. Awful. So yeah, Mkhitaryan's finally gone. So yeah, there's a bit to get through. Hopefully people will join on and ask some questions at the end. Let me get my banner up. Give me 2 seconds. Let me see. So yeah, guys, sort of looking into the first thing I'm going to talk about is probably Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Yeah, so it seems like there's going to be a massive U-turn. Obviously, Wolves had put in a provisional bid of about 15 million, which is not enough. I know you would look at Maitland-Niles as a utility player, but no, listen, anything 20 million, 25 million plus, take the money and cash in. But yeah, if we go back to sort of the Community Shield, touching on that, and I'll sort of come into Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Actually, you haven't seen my match review of the game. I thought we was quite dogged in our performance. Considering if the room, if it was true that Arsenal only had about 3 training sessions going into that warm-up game, Liverpool had a little bit of a heads up on us in terms of games played and probably more training sessions. But yeah, Arsenal hung in there well, man. And they actually, for me, although Liverpool had quite a lot of possession, I thought we looked more threatening. A big shout out to Bukayo Saka, because one thing I like about Saka is even when he isn't playing well, he still affects the game. If you look at all of Arsenal's chances and even the goal scored by Aubameyang, brilliant goal by the way, they all came from Saka. Great diagonal ball out to Aubameyang, great finish. The chance for Eddie, cutbacks, assists. Saka played really, really well. He looked absolutely knackered after about 60, 65 minutes. But I thought he was actually quite influential in the game. I thought David Luiz played well. Xhaka and El Neni were solid in the middle. Ainsley played really well. Tierney bossed it again, but Ainsley played really well because he was, to me, showed great discipline. And he also offered us something going the other way in an attacking sense. So yeah, it was brilliant. But yeah, coming on to Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Yeah, I mean, it's his birthday Saturday just gone. Man of the match performance, rightly so, I thought personally, given by Chris Sutton in the commentary, and an England call up. So, I mean, what a day, man. But I think with the Maitland-Niles debate, I mean, with the fan base, with sections of the fan base, quite clearly they want Ainsley to stay. They feel they've seen enough in his performances to warrant him staying at the club, possibly being in the team. I think it's going to be difficult. Say, for example, if he stays, it's going to be difficult in the sense that, because if I look at the Arsenal team probably full strength, then he doesn't get into the side. But if he's happy to be a utility player, it's up to him. But you know, when we're at full strength, whether we play four at the back or we play wing backs, obviously Tierney is our left back. He can play left wing back, and he can also play the left of a free. So for me, unless you play Maitland-Niles ahead of Cedric and Hector Bellerin, then he doesn't get in the team. But he's shown in the big games that he can perform. And listen, if he stays, he stays. Like I said, for me, it was nothing ever personal against Maitland-Niles. I just thought from a ruthless point of view and not trying to attach sentiment towards it, you know, I would have sold Bellerin, sold Maitland-Niles, and get Max Aarons in. I've said that publicly quite a few times, and I won't change my mind on that because, you know, Max Aarons has sell-on value, only 20 years old, but that's not going to happen. And to be honest with you, on top of that, he's actually gettable. I mean, I don't think any other Premier League clubs have gone in for him. I mean, I know the two German clubs were interested in Max Aarons, about an £18.5 million bid, but that's what I would do personally. And that's nothing against Maitland-Niles. I just, you know, for me, it's not about sentiment. I think that's happened for too long a time at Arsenal, if I'm being honest with you. But yeah, and then obviously that leads me on to Emi Martinez. Again, I mean, there's rumours in the week that Aston Villa, if that's true, that's cheeky, man. £10 million bid. The way Emi Martinez has been playing. Guys, again, just drop me in the comments below and tell me if you can hear me well enough and there's no echoes or no feedback. So just drop a comment if you can, if you're tuning in. Otherwise, you ain't going to hear what I'm saying. That's not good, but I think you should be able to hear what I'm saying anyway. But yeah, Emi Martinez, £10 million bid from Villa, man. They're taking liberties. Are you mad? If we're going to sell him, which I don't think is going to happen, yeah, they want double that, at least 20 million. And I mean, I didn't know, but in terms of wages, because obviously Martinez signed a contract back in, was it a 5-year contract or 6-year contract back in 2016? And he's on 20 grand a week, apparently. I mean, people are going to laugh and say that's a lot of money to the average working man. I understand that. But in terms of, if you're looking at it from a football player's perspective in the Premier League era now, that's next to nothing. But I think apparently Arsenal want to sort of add another 2-year extension onto that, and rightly so, man. You don't put in the performances Emi Martinez has put in the last couple of months and not be rewarded with a new contract. Listen, we need competition in that Arsenal squad. 2 players position, man. You can't be, because I bet you Leno's probably thinking that. I don't know if you guys saw it, but even a couple of times I saw Leno on the weekend in the match. He had that look to say, oh, you know, he's happy, but you know what I mean? The guy's got the #1 shirt, man. So, you know, there's competition. We need competition, 2 places for every position, man. Like, that's how it should be. You know, it should be there for the goalkeepers to fight for the jersey. You understand? So, yeah, people asked me before, who would I go in to the season with as number 1, or who should start the Premier League season? Emi Martinez, 100%. And that's nothing against Leno. He's been outstanding, but I don't think it should be even a case of we should be thinking about selling either goalkeeper. Make them duke it out, man. Make them fight. You know what I mean? You can't just walk into the team. But yeah, that leads me on to Matteo Guendouzi. Oh my God, this guy. There's been rumblings or kind of things put out there to suggest that when Mikel Arteta was talking about giving people a clean slate, I don't think that applies to this guy, man. If anybody who's seen my content, you know, and anybody who's on Twitter would have seen my guy who does reporting for Get French Football News, Adam White, and he was saying about Guendouzi when he had his time at Lorient, was that the name of the team? How you say it, in the second tier of French football? Bare attitude and bare problems, man. And you know, and this is before he came to Arsenal. So the fact he's behaving the way he's behaving, or has behaved, doesn't surprise me. So to me personally, the sooner you move him on, the better. Actually, I want to see more movement from Arsenal in terms of some of these guys just being moved on, man. But then I guess it's a mixture of you know, people have got to want to buy the players from your club. You understand? So let me just check this comment before I keep talking even further. Is that Ross? Yes, Ross. Oh, happy belated birthday, by the way, mate. Well deserved. Hi, but we'd be lucky to keep both keepers happy. You know what, Ross? We won't keep them happy. That's the whole point. Like, we need these guys to be duking it out, man. And for me, Martinez has the shirt. I mean, even his performance, if I go back to the Community Shield quickly before I come back to Guendouzi, he fills you with presence, Martinez. He commands the box. Even when he hasn't got much to do, even the two key moments in that match is where he made the first save. I thought was brilliant from Mane. The second save, Mane made it stumbled a little bit, but he still was there to save it, imposing figure. You can rely on him, man. And you know what? He brings a calming influence to that back three, back five, whatever way you want to put it. So, 100%. So you're saying back to Guendouzi, yeah. Like I mean, there was rumors today that Valencia's interested in him, but they want to take him on a season-long loan. With a view to sort of buy him, and I heard the figure talking about 22 million. That's, to be fair, what we got Guendouzi for 8 million. So if you're just thinking of it from a monetary profit type of view, like we're making a profit on him. But you know what, Arsenal can get more than 22 million for him. And from what I hear, like in Spain, Valencia ain't got the money, man, to be paying more than 20, maybe even paying 22 million, let alone paying more than that. But time will tell, man. Absolutely. Let me get that. Let me see. So yeah, Guendouzi, yeah, the sooner the better, man. Like this guy, he's done it to himself, man. He's done it to himself. Ever since that Brighton game, he's done it to himself. And then obviously, that leads us on to our Sead Kolasinac. Another guy that needs to be moved on, man. Let's be honest, it hasn't worked. Him coming to Arsenal. The thing is, he came with very good reputation, man. From Schalke in the Bundesliga, he was in the Bundesliga team of the year that season. But yeah, I've not been convinced, man. He hasn't had that many good games in comparison to having him very bad games. Not been impressed. Not a good final delivery. Caught out of position too many times. Too rash. So yeah, I think they're saying that Schalke's interested, and yeah, I mean the reason why Kolasinac is on a lot of money in terms of his wages is obviously because we got him on a free, but get him off the books, man. Like we need to move these guys on and get some income. But what is it with Arsenal? I don't understand. Like we must be, you know what? I think even if the transfer window was open for about a year, we would still take long to get deals done and to move people on. It's just madness. I don't understand. It's so frustrating, man. Unbelievable. But yeah, hopefully he gets moved on. Come on to Thomas Partey now. I mean, I've said it before, and I'm going to sound like a broken record, but I'm going to say it again. If it's true that the release clause is 45 million just to try and talk to this guy, then to me, that's nothing in this current market, because people might say, yeah, but, you know, the global pandemic and, you know, there's not enough money. But, you know, how much money do we actually really have? Because we should be trying to, I don't know what the negotiations are going on with this guy, but like I said, I did think it would rumble on and on and on and on and on. And it has done. And Arsenal, to me, it seems like they're not willing to meet the release clause. They've tried to, I think, offer part exchange and get Partey, but Athletic Madrid is not interested. I don't blame them. Like, I wouldn't budge if they don't meet the release clause. Why are we going to let him go? He's one of their top players. You know, if it's true, I mean, you know what I mean. You don't really want to listen to sources, but apparently he's open-minded to come into Arsenal. If that's true, then we should be trying to snap this guy's hand off, man, and drag him from Spain to the airport to get him into London as quick as possible. But I don't know what's going on, man. Seriously. Yeah, guys, let me know if you can hear me well enough. But yeah, the Thomas Partey one's going to rumble on and on. And the thing is, Arsenal needs to get to a point and say, look, we start the season on September 12th, right? So what is it? We're the last day of August now, bank holiday Monday as we speak now. If you're not going to get the deal done, if you're not going to do what needs to be done to get this guy, move on and look at other targets, man. You know, Arsenal must have, well, I say must have, but I don't say it confidently. They must have a contingency plan for if you don't get a top target, you must have an alternative. You have to have one. Like, it doesn't make sense. Right, let me come back to the part in a minute. Get some comments. Christian, hey, what's happening? At the moment, just playing hardball party. Yeah, they are, but you know what it is? I think, Christian, you know what it is with Arsenal? We've got a track record, and this is not a knee-jerk reaction for me to say this. We've got a track record of doing things very, very, very pedestrian-like. I could think of when we bought Aubameyang. That seemed to take forever. When we got Lacazette, I mean, that medical seemed to last for about 25 years. When we bought Kieran Tierney, and that was when we was in actual proper negotiations to get the guy to come to get the guys to come to the club. But with the party one, it's just, yeah, it's painful. It's painful, mate. Whether you're right, my sister just logged to say, "Hey, Al, cheers, sis. See you soon. I'm coming down. We're not coming to South East London Wednesday. Yeah, I'll see you soon, sis. Love you lots." Yeah, party. It's gonna. Yeah, it's Christian. You are right. It is hardball, but there's hardball and then there's Arsenal's hardball. It's just boy, it is frustrating. I just think, you know what, if you're not gonna try and get this done, you know what, look at other alternatives, man. You understand? Like, yes, he's one of the best DMs or CDMs out there, but there must be other ones as well. There must be. Let me get the banner up. Brands. Let me see. Questions, answers. Yeah, so yeah, Thomas Partey is going to rumble on and on, man. We'll see. We'll see. People know my thoughts. If it was down to me, just my personal opinion, drop in the comments down below. You might disagree, agree. But if we got, for example, Thomas Partey and Abdullah Doucouré, that would absolutely transform our midfield tenfold, because you've got dynamism, you've got athleticism, you've got box to box, you've got physicality, and you've got midfield enforcers. But that's not going to happen, unfortunately. I think Doucouré, Everton's interested in him. And of course, Atletico are probably playing hardball. Let me see, there's another comment just dropped in. Christian, let's see what you're saying, mate. Cheers, mate. Maybe Raul would have got the deal sealed for us had he not been sacked right in the middle of the transfer window, given that he was negotiating with. Yeah, that's true, actually. I know Raul had a big say in terms of the contract negotiations with the Aubameyang thing, the Gabriel at the time. Even he's not been announced, Christian. Jesus, man. Like, oh dear. But no, yeah, that's a good point you make, Christian, man. Yeah, you know, I don't have an issue with Arsenal getting rid of Raul, but I just think for a lot of Arsenal fans and myself, and I'm sure people would agree with me, that again, it's a timing, isn't it? You know, I've said it before and I say it again. This is, for me personally, this is Arsenal's biggest transfer window in 6 years. That's my personal opinion. So Christian, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I partly agree with that. Most definitely what you're saying. I'm gonna get on to another player. And I'd like to know what you guys think, man, whoever's watching the chat. But Rob Holding. Now, it's been said that for the last sort of week that Leeds United were interested. Yeah, Christian, another comment there, Christian. Yeah, for real, man, honestly. Yeah, Rob Holding, it'd be interesting to see what you guys think, man. It's, for me, they say Leeds were interested in him, right? And I assume that was for a permanent deal. Before I go into that, yeah, guys, hit the like button, share my content, subscribe to my channel, spread the word. The support is very much appreciated. So please smash the like button. Yeah, Rob Holding. He's been at Arsenal since we signed him in July 2016 from Bolton for £2 million. He, let me see now. Yeah, so just look at my notes. Yeah, he's been at Arsenal 4 years, man. Like it's gone quick. Like, but for me, I get it. He's had an ACL. He had an ACL injury in December 2018. But my argument, Rob Holding, is right. He's 24, 25. Let me know, guys, how old he is. I think he's 25. He's been at Arsenal 4 years. And I look at him and say, oh, and I think to myself, what facet of your game is it that you do well at? And I don't know. I don't know what his strengths are. And people say to me when we came into Emery's second season, for example, and there was a period where Hector Bellerin and Rob Holding, people say they played what I thought they did okay. They played better than what I've seen for them in an Arsenal shirt in Emery's second season, right? Or part of Emery's first season, going his second season, sorry. But the thing is, Arsenal have been a poor defensive unit for about going on 10 years plus. And if they're playing well, but we're still poor defensively, whether that's individually or collectively or in a back four or three centre-backs or two wing-backs, we were still poor. And he was part of that. So when Bellerin and Holding were out of the team for a long, long time, I was never, ever convinced that when they come back into the team, Arsenal were going to improve defensively. No chance. And they came back in. Yes, I'm going to say this now before people get on at me. Yes, I understand Holding and Bellerin had 2 serious injuries, but I don't think they was that great before the injuries. They were slightly better, but were they at the required level and standard for us to improve and to compete again for top 4 and potential league titles? No, on both fronts. So that's my thing, Rob Holding. He's been here 4 years, and we're going to send him out on loan. We're going to send him out on loan, knowing we've bought 2 centre backs. David Luiz is still here for another year. Mustafi's still at the club, but he's injured. Callum Chambers is still at the club, but he's injured, or he's coming back, shall I say, rehabilitation. We've got Mavropanos out on loan. Why are we keeping Rob Holding to be sent out on loan? To me, it makes no sense. I don't understand that. Like, for me, I was actually looking. Rob Holding, in his time at Arsenal, in 4 years, I'm talking about Premier League appearances, and I take into consideration Rob Holding has had injuries or major injury. He's had 66 appearances. That's career appearances, league games in 4 years. That's not a lot. And there's only 39 of those are for Arsenal. That's league performances. So, yes, he's been curtailed by injuries, but I'll be honest with you, I wasn't impressed. Yes, he had that standout game in the cup final 3 years ago against Chelsea. And like I said, there was a period of the season where he was playing slightly better. But for me, I don't understand why it's a season-long loan. I think personally, I don't think it's really. I don't see him being the answer, particularly, especially now if you signed Saliba and you signed Gabriel. Right, let's go through some of these comments. Let me go through then. Carol, good to see. Thank you for tuning in. Always retweeting and sharing my stuff. I appreciate the support. Daily Express is saying Atletico might now be prepared to swap Partey for Laka. You know what, Carol? That could work, because originally I think the only reason why we got Lacazette is because Atletico on a transfer ban, because they wanted to buy Lacazette, didn't they, a few seasons ago? So yeah, that could work. Let me go through the other comment. I believe Holding's going on loan to Newcastle. Yeah, but to me, Carol, it's just my opinion. Like, I don't think Rob Holding's going to get any better. Like, you're going out on loan. Like, you've been at the club for 4 years, man. Again, I take into consideration he had an injury, but I wasn't that impressed with him before he got the injury, if I'm being totally honest. So Aaron Gallagher, yes, Aaron. What are you saying? Why is that? Which one? Give me more detail, man. Then I know what you mean. He's a decent centre-back who gets the job done. Christian, cheers, mate. He's a decent centre-back who gets the job done, if not as a starter, then at least as a backup. Also, he did play well when he had that unbeaten run under Emery's first season, 22 games, and he played left centre back. Yeah, you know what? I did say Christian. The thing is, I thought he was better, but him being better and obviously Bellerin, like defensively, man, like Christian, you know, it is. We just, because we've recruited so badly over the years. Oh, let me clear that off. Sorry. Let me move that down. Because we've recruited so badly, generally speaking, and defensively, I can see why he's probably still at the club as a backup. Because with Louise being there for another year, I don't know what's going to happen with Squadron Mustafi and Callum Chambers when they come back. Gabriel obviously and Saliba have come in, so yeah, you could have him as a backup, but I'm just not convinced, my friend, man, to be honest. And obviously, I forgot Pablo Mario to see someone drop something in the comments. Holding he's alone in another Premier League club, though. Let's see how he has progressed. I'll give you that, Christian, and I think I'll see how he gets at Newcastle if the deal does go ahead, or maybe Leeds might come back and say something. We're not sure. Yeah, of course, Carol and Pablo Mari. Again with him, it's hard because we've not really seen a lot of him. Like, we needed him because Arteta quite clearly identified that we need a left-sided centre-back. So he was a cheaper option because, let's be honest, Upamecano links, man, for the last year or six months to a year plus, I never believed it. It's all paper talk, man, to get the guy a bigger contract at Leipzig or to be moved on. He probably go to Bayern Munich. It wouldn't surprise me, Upamecano. Carol, good point. And that probably, that I'd even broaden that out to a lot of the players at Arsenal. I think that's the issue why us as Arsenal fans get very frustrated, because I always say to people, when I look at Arsenal when it comes to transfer dealings, whether it be the summer or January, particularly the summer, you have to look at it from the point of view, who actually wants these players? We've had some players at Arsenal, yes, over the years gone by, and Nasri or an Ox or a Fabregas. People want these players, isn't it? They want them because they've got quality. But some of the other players who had at Arsenal over the years, like, if I was a club in need of a centre back or a left back, I wouldn't look at Arsenal and think, you know what, I'd take him and put him in our team. No chance. You can have a tag team of Klopp, Guardiola, and Arteta together. It's not going to improve. Oh, Aaron's jumped another comment. Yeah, Aaron, sorry, I was asking why does it take Arsenal so long to get deals sealed? Been linked to Gabriel for weeks. Only club that operates like this. So frustrating. 100 million%. It's incredibly frustrating because you think to yourself, I'll give you an example, right? People bang on about Chelsea. Christian, I'm gonna come to that. I'm gonna come to that in a minute. People going about Chelsea, but Chelsea had a transfer ban and they could buy players. But you're missing the point for me. Chelsea, transfer ban or not, City, whatever trouble with FFP or not, these guys always seem to get the deals done quicker, sharper. I mean, yes, Chelsea had a transfer ban and they could buy. Yes, they got Werner and they got Ziyech, which they rounded up, got very, very early. Got Timo Werner in, got Chilwell in. But bear in mind, they got Thiago Silva in. Thiago Silva didn't cost anything. That's for a year. Done. Dusted. I think the guy was 1 minute playing in the Champions League final. 2 days later, he signed for Chelsea. Malang Sarr, who Arsenal rumoured with, the young French centre-back, French under-21 international, I think. Deal's done. On a free. So it does frustrate you, man. Like, yeah, it's very frustrating. Incredibly. Quick off 40 million for Iwobi. Like, this is the thing, Christian, I'm going to say something, right? Like, I'm Nigerian heritage, right? So I wasn't just going to back Iwobi because he's Nigerian. Like, I want him to do well, obviously, partly because of that. But I wanted to do well for Arsenal and for him to be. But for me, it got to a stage with him where his end product was the contributing factor for me as to look at him and say, I don't think he's going to make it from Arsenal. And his goals return wasn't very good. So that's the problem. Arsenal, when they move players on, because you obviously saw about an hour ago now, Mkhitaryan's finally left Arsenal. Did we get any money for him? No. I think at the time, what they're talking about they tried to offer like £8 million for him. Look at it now. We should have just took the money at the time because we've got nothing for him now. But yeah, with the Iwobi thing, Iwobi's, it's a good thing you brought up, Christian. Iwobi's the only, if you think about it, Iwobi's the only Arsenal player who we've got decent income for. If you think about it, right, you look at the players Arsenal have sold or moved on in recent years. How much money have we actually sold them for? It's looking like Kolasinac is going to go for nothing or next to nothing. Socrates, it looks like he's going to leave, go to Napoli. I think they're talking about, what was it, 4.55 million? That's nothing. I mean, we got just over 3 million for winning the FA Cup. We got 5.4 million for finishing 8th in the Premier League. Like, we don't get income into the football club, and that's under different hierarchy with Gazidis gone, and obviously we've got the new guys on board with Edu's only been there quite recently. We are not very good in making income. That's just the truth. You know, I wouldn't say we've got massive, huge sellable assets, but we've got players we can sell. If you're going to sell Lacazette, sell him and get the 27, 30 million, but then you've got to bring somebody in. Get a 27, 30 million plus for Lucas Torreira. Get a 30, 35 million plus for Guendouzi. There's money to bring in the club, but Arsenal, get a bloody move on, man. Seriously. It's so frustrating. But yeah, Christian, it's a good point. Iwobi, if you think about it, cash income at this Arsenal Football Club is the only one. Sanchez, swap deal. Ramsey, for free. It just, the list goes on and on. It's like a Jack and Nori story. Aaron, thank God Mickey is gone. He was awful, though not as bad as Sanchez was at United. Aaron, like I said before, man, to me, easily one of the worst swap deals in Premier League history by a country mile. It didn't work out for either United or us. I mean, the money Sanchez was getting on wages wise. I mean, we talk about Ozil, but Sanchez was conning a living, man. Krishnan, let's see another comment. We've got to develop players now so that whenever clubs come knocking, we at least sell them for 20, 30 million plus. Spot on. Christian, I'm going to say something, right? And guys, it'd be good, interesting to get you guys' thoughts. Carol, I'm going to read your comment in a minute. And for those of you who subscribe to my channel, for example, right, I do a series called Underrated Footballers. Now, this guy's not really underrated because people have quite heard about him. He's just recently got a move to Crystal Palace, right? Eberici Eze from Queen's Park Rangers. Anybody that watches Championship football, unbelievable talent. We actually had him when he was 13 years old, but we released him, and then he had about a few years. I think Millwall was one of the clubs he's at, and Fulham, I believe it was, before he went to QPR in 2016, 2017. Anybody that's seen him play, fabulous talent. Now, he's gone to Crystal Palace, I think, on a 5-year contract, £20 million, 16 million initial, and then 4 million in add-ons. And QPR, smart, man, they put on a 20% sell-on clause as well. This guy, for me, I wouldn't even say worth taking a risk. Because to me, I look at it two ways, right? With Eberi Eze has gone to Palace, right? He's the type of player we don't have at Arsenal. He's like a Willian, but 10 years younger. And he's like a Hossein Ayor, £20 million cheaper. Arsenal, man, like, you know, you got rid of all these scouts, fair enough. You know, a lot of scouting is database led or data analysis led. But Eberi Eze, guys, trust me, watch this guy in the Premier League for Crystal Palace this season, and you'll see what I mean. But yeah, there's rumours this guy even said he wants to come back to Arsenal one day. So Arsenal, you know what? Keep an eye on this guy, man, because he's the type of player we don't have. Great ball control, ball carrier, goals, assists. Yes, people might say he came from QPR, the Championship, but guys, listen, man. If a man's got talent, they've got talent. You understand? So, guys, watch out for him. Eberici Eze. That's because Everton overpay and don't buy wisely. No other club would have paid 40 million for him, and that's why we moved quickly then. Yeah, Arsenal must have been, Carol, you know what? Arsenal must have fell off their chair when they saw that bid come in and just snapped their hands off. You know what I mean? You're making a 38 to 40 million pound profit on an academy player. So, yeah, goes without saying. Aaron, another comment. Oh, left that another. Carol said another thing. Eze said his dream move was to come back to Arsenal before Palace. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, you think to yourself, like, Arsenal, man, this is a guy we do not have in our midfield. We've not had a goal scoring midfield player really since the days of Pires and Freddie Ljungberg. And for me, Eze would have been the type of player where he would link the attack and the midfield and transition the ball 1,000,000% quicker. He's exactly the type of player we don't have at Arsenal. And you could have got him. Listen, if we got Hossein Ayor from Lyon, I'd be smiling like a Cheshire cat. But I just think Arsenal, we want to be smart and streetwise in your business. Barry Eze was there, man. Like 20 million, 16 million up front. I rest my case. But yeah, Carol, we need to keep an eye on Eze, man. Trust me. I hear Tottenham have a. You know what? I need to actually. You know what? I've not got Netflix, you know, but I need to speak to my little sister and get on watch Netflix because I've seen snippets of the Tottenham documentary on Netflix. It looks quite funny, actually, if I'll be honest with you, for a number of reasons. Just to laugh at Mourinho is just a good thing alone. Are they still going on about putting the pressure on that year? Thank you. Exactly. Unbelievable. Yeah, Christian, what are you saying about Sam Greenwood? Sale to Leeds. I guess he was a good player. Hopefully he doesn't pinch us in the future like Gnabry Sale did. Lots of love. Christian, you know what it is? I touched on it last time on my, what did I do? I think I do it on my last Q&A. You know what it is? People like Sam Greenwood and Balogun, right? Thanks for the question, mate. It's like any football club. You're going to have a lot of talented youngsters. Not all of them are going to make it. So it's hard to keep them happy, my friend, man. Like, you can send them out on loan and bring them back. Not everybody's going to be a Saka or a Wayne Rooney when he came through at 16, 17. Like, it's difficult to break into the team. So as talented as these guys are, like Balogun and, you know, I hear a lot about Tyrese John Jules. I would love to see him break into the Arsenal team, but it's difficult because if you've got Lacazette there, Eddie's getting his chance, even if I think Eddie's got a lot to prove to me personally. I'm sort of still looking at him to see what type of striker he actually is, but I guess over time we'll kind of see it. But Martinelli's there, Aubameyang's there, obviously for another 3 years when this flaming contract gets announced. So these guys are young, they're hungry, Christian, man. They want to play, and good luck to them. If Arsenal was smart, which I'm not sure if they did, they might have done it, but put a buyback clause in there or something on Sam Greenwood's contract. But what was it, 1.5 million rising up to 3 million or 3.5, I think it is for Sam Greenwood. But yeah, all these guys you can't please all of them, man. Like, they're talented guys, but are they going to get their chance? That's the problem. Yes, Rich, my guy, man. Rich, man. Rich is like a brother from another mother, man. Mr. Positivity, I like Richard. Like, even if I'm feeling down about Arsenal or I'm moping around like a puppy dog, Richard can just pick me up, man. With positivity. Christian, the documentary on Amazon Prime, yo. Okay. You know what? I might just even watch it. I know it's Tottenham, but I just want to see what it looked quite fascinating, even if it's going to be a laugh. Evening, bro. Yes, Gary United, brother, man. What's happening? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in again, mate. Your loyalty is always in your comments. Cheers, man. Your support's been brilliant, mate. But yeah, I was talking about, who was I chatting before I came to the comments? Yeah, guys, before I come to talk about more things, can you hear me well? Just let me know if you can. Yeah, guys, like I said, smash the like button, subscribe to my channel, spread the word, and subscribe, like I said. Get more questions, it'd be more appreciated. But yeah, I was talking about Rob Holding, yeah. Career appearance is 66, I believe it is. If that's wrong, let me know. But I'm sure when I looked at it earlier, I said, wow, like only 39 for Arsenal, and that's just league appearances. Mad. I think, yeah, like, but with Rob Holding, me personally, I'd cash in, man, and you could get some decent money for him. But again, who wants to buy these players? We'll see. What's that? Richard's another comment. Got to laugh at Spurs. Oh, you know what's mad? Like, we only signed Cedric, right? Saliba. These guys, right? I've got more silverware in a month than Tottenham had when Tottenham last trophy? 2008. That's just mad. And I know it burns some Tottenham. I know it burns them. Like, Arsenal we've had our worst Premier League season finish, right? That in 25 years, and yet we still win trophies. Madness. Cheers, guy. Thanks for letting me know, mate. Nketiah needs a loan. He does need a loan again, 100%. I 1,000,000% agree with that. I think the only reason why it won't happen is because Martinelli is, they said he's injured till, he's out to what, the end of the year. So, and that's such a blow. I love Martinelli. Holding needs to go out on loan. Me personally, Rich, like I said to the guys earlier in the comments, I would move him on, man. I think there's too many centre backs I would play ahead of him for him to be significant. And he could have a fantastic year at Newcastle and come back to Arsenal and then only feature in the Carabao Cup and European games. Like, I'm sure he doesn't want that his career at 25 or 26 when he's going to be at that time. But yeah, also as well, I want to talk about, getting a little bit off subject, but I saw in the England squad today. Let me know what you guys thought. Jack Grealish has been called up as a replacement because Marcus Rashford and Harry Winks are pulled out through injury. And I think to myself, Jack Grealish, right, has carried that Villa team. I wouldn't even just say last season. I think he's been their standout player by a country mile for a few years. And this guy only gets a call up because of injuries to some of the players in the squad. To me, is just a madness, absolute madness, unbelievable, man. But yeah, guys, like in terms of, so yeah, I've gone through Maitland-Niles, Emi Martinez. What am I talking now? 41 minutes. So guys, get your questions in if you can, because I'm going to probably do another 5-10 minutes before I log off. Guys, appreciate you logging in. Thank you for dropping your comments in, your questions. Keep them coming. Hopefully you like the content. I'll be doing more Q&As. This is my second one in. I enjoy engaging with the fans, whether it be Arsenal fans or from other clubs as well. Grealish is decent, but needs longer socks. Rich is mad. He plays like that. It's like a throwback, isn't it? I think if Pogba had left United, I think United would have got him. I think United would have gone for him. United got the money to contract him. I think it's cheeky for Villa to think that they can put a bounty on Grealish's head of 80 million. They're crazy. They're crazy rich. They're not going to get that for him. And, you know, considering he only stayed up in the league by a poor refereeing decision when they played Sheffield United in Project Restart. And was it by a point? Yeah, I think United having a laugh. I think it's not United. I think Villa having a laugh at 80 million. I'd love Jack Grealish at Arsenal, but not 80 million. You must be insane. I'd rather go and pay the money and go and steal a Berrieze, like I mentioned earlier. What's that? Guy's got a comment. Mark my words, Spurs will be a laughing stock when the season starts, like you just said, Albert. Arsenal had a bad season and still managed 2 trophies. It's true, like, but you know what it is, Gary, right? And I'm going to say, I don't care. I strongly believe it. I think with Spurs over the last few years and Liverpool for varying different reasons, they get some serious media favoritism, man, to the point that it also almost makes you physically sick. It's true, man. Like, I appreciate Liverpool are a quality side, and Jurgen Klopp's done wonders in the time he's been there. But yeah, it's even small things. When I had my Gary, you'll know, and you guys will know that when I brought up that 888 Sport combined Liverpool and Arsenal combined 11, the greatest Premier League of all time. Like, I looked at some of the Liverpool players in there, no disrespect in the way that because they're good players in regard to Trent and Andy Robertson, but you're talking Premier League of all time, man, of a combined 11. Like, again, it's obviously social media and media driven. Like, I respect Liverpool and what club's done there, and they've got some amazing players, man. But the way some of the ex-pros, some of the ex-pros that play football, and I'm not talking about Liverpool, I'm talking about the way they rove over them is just mad. What's that, Richard? Richard, another comment, cheers, brother. Okay, we get them up there. For free. It's true, man. Poor referee in the VAR, man. If Grealish is able to say it should be 120 million. Grealish, I love Jack Grealish. But 80 million for the liberties, man. Grealish is that way he's enjoying his career. He can move and be a top flight in his respective club. Gary, you know what? I get what you're saying. but he's also been very loyal to Villa. He could have left Villa a good 2-3 years ago. I know Tottenham are actually interested. Sorry, guys, 2 seconds. I know Tottenham were interested a few years ago, and they dilly-dallied. And you know what? Looking at it now, they paid for it because obviously Eriksen's gone now. They should just got the Grealish deal done then. But what I want I say to people when I started doing this YouTube thing, right? I love Arsenal, whatever, but I'm a football lover, and as a football fan, I don't want to happen to Jack Grealish what's happened with Zaha at Palace. That he's there. Yes, he's the big fish in the team, but he's now, and Palace get what they deserve, to be honest with you, because to try and put out that asking price of 70, 80 million last season. Now, if Zaha leaves Crystal Palace are going to end up getting probably half or less than half what they wanted originally. So good. But yeah, I hope for Grealish's sake, me personally, for his career, Villa don't, you know what I mean? He's been loyal to him. Yes, Villa's his boyhood club, but don't, you know what I mean? Football's a short career, and Carrie, you probably agree, there's not a lot of loyalty in football from clubs to players and vice versa. So yeah, for me, I like to see Jack Grealish move on, if I'm honest. That combined team was a joke. Gary, it was. This is the point I was arguing with some of the Liverpool supporters, not just my guy from Canada, but it's all Premier League of all time. The thing is, they concentrate on the here and now. So they look at the last 2 Champions League finals, and they look at they've won the Champions League and the Premier League and second in the Premier League on 97 points. So they look at the here and now. They don't look at the longevity, and that was my issue with them. Very bad crackle on the line. Okay, let me take this out. I'm gonna take. Let's see. Let me know if you can hear me now, guys. Let me know. Do a comment. Let me know. Hopefully you can. Let me see. Let me know if you can hear me. Yeah, I thought the headphones are working well, but yeah, I think I think I need to get some new ones. But let me see. Let me know if you can hear me, guys, please. Yeah, my voice is. I took them out, mate. Combined Liverpool, it should have been invincibles. Richard, you know what the thing is? I only said, and people think I was being harsh, but I wasn't. I said there's only 2 Liverpool players I put in that combined 11, and that was Van Dijk and Gerrard. I wouldn't have had nobody else in there. The only argument, I look back on it now, I would have had to put anybody in there would be, because I wanted Dennis Bergkamp in there, would have been to take Pires out and put Luis Suarez in. That was the only concession I would have made, but I'm not doing it now, man. Sorry, no, I need 2 Liverpool players, definitely. Christian and Fears, mate, thanks for that. Carol, it's okay. She said your voice sound like a Dalek. Yeah, but no, it's Jack Grealish. Yeah, I hope he gets his move personally. If I'm being honest with you. So guys, yeah, you know what it is. I'm trying to think. What else has happened in the news? But yeah, Arsenal, man, just get this. It is incredibly frustrating. It's very, very frustrating. The way we deal with our transfers, it just. You think to yourself, what's the contingency plans at Arsenal? Like, if you can't get your number 1 target, what is the contingency? Like, if they can't get Partey, or for whatever reason it's not going to happen, who are you going to look at? And this, yeah, what's that, Henderson? Oh, Gary's got another comment. Cheers, Carol. Thank you. Henderson in that combined team made me cry lots of love. Definitely didn't deserve to be there. He looks like the type of lad who should be cleaning toilets. Gary, you're funny. They probably think you're going to say that because you're a Man United fan. No, they wouldn't. Rich, this is the point I'm making. With the media and the way they sort of eulogize over Liverpool, I mean, I even saw a few weeks ago when you guys might have seen it on the BBC Sport website, where they was having a vote on who is the best Premier League team ever. And obviously you had Arsenal 97-98, Arsenal Invincibles, Chelsea's first stint under Mourinho, Man United 99 season. And the voting, apparently, listen, it probably was true. Probably Liverpool fans probably crammed the voting lines. But yeah, the Liverpool side that won the Premier League just now is the best Premier League, was the best Premier League team in history, which is just nonsense. I mean,
I can be objective, but to be honest with you, that's Richard. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about with the sort of media loving for Liverpool. How can Liverpool be voted better than the Invincibles team, or the United team of '99, or the Man City team who got was it 100 points? Was it, or 99 points? Whatever they got. Like, come on, man. Like, let's have it right, man. It's madness. So, guys, I'm gonna take a few more comments. I was gonna go on 50 minutes now. Let's do another 5 minutes. But yeah, it was Arsenal. I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about Kieran Tierney. Actually, I want to put special mention to Kieran Tierney. Now, I've not made a secret of it that I've wanted Kieran Tierney at Arsenal for about 2 years. And you know what I think? I think it ties on what I was going to say to you guys. It'd be interesting to know what you guys think. I don't know, when I go and watch Arsenal play, for example, or you have a chat with Arsenal fans after games, when you mention certain players and say, you know what, I want that player at Arsenal, I think he could do a good job. I remember, I've always told this story, right? When I went to watch Arsenal play in Napoli in the Europa League quarterfinal, the first leg of the Emirates, right? And we won the game, was it 2-0, was it? And I'm talking to some Arsenal fans, right? And at the time, Wan-Bissaka was doing bits for Crystal Palace. To me, he is the best one-on-one defender in right back position in the league by far. There's not too many players that get the better of him in a defensive situation because his recovery is brilliant. Yes, he needs to work on his offensive game and the crossing. I understand that, but in terms of defending, for that time at Crystal Palace, he was number one in stats in every single department in the entire league. Now, people argue and go, "Oh yeah, but he plays for Crystal Palace." But that's beside the point. If your job is as defender, is to defend, whether you play for Palace, Manchester United, or Arsenal. So when I'm talking to some of these Arsenal fans, and I said that Arsenal should be looking at someone like Wan-Bissaka, before I even finished the sentence, immediately shot down. No, he's not good enough. This and that, blah blah blah. But I think to myself, I sometimes I question with some of our fan base: do we watch football outside of watching Arsenal? Do we watch other football in the Premier League? Do we watch Championship? Do we watch, Bundesliga and La Liga and Ligue 1? Because if you look at Liverpool, and this is what I'm saying, with Andy Robertson's a good example as well. Now, Andy Robertson, for me, like I said, I'm a football lover. He was a quality fullback anyway before Liverpool bought him. The reason why he never got props is because he played for Hull City, and maybe because he played for Scotland. But I've seen him play for Scotland and Hull City. I thought, no, this guy is a proper left back. And when Liverpool got him for 8 million, I said, bargain, 100%. Now what you see is all the ex-pros jumping it now. Oh, he's brilliant and this and that. But I'm thinking, but you wasn't bigging up this guy when he's at Hull City. He's always been a good fullback, but obviously under Klopp he's got better and playing in the Liverpool side where you've got better players around you. But for me, I mark a player sometimes how good he is if he's not in a top club. So I look at someone like Wilf Zaha, for example, at Crystal Palace. Now, for me, this is gonna surprise a lot of Arsenal fans probably. I'm not a big fan of Wilf Zaha. If you look at his stats in the Premier League, in terms of his ability and goals, return, and assists, it's not great. So I never sort of bought into that. And people go, yeah, but he's at Palace. But I said, that's not really, that's just part of the, but you can still be a quality player or the go-to man in a club, whether you're a relegated battling side, mid-table. Perfect example of that for me, someone who performed, excelled in not such a great side or fashionable club, would be someone like Matt Letizia. Phenomenal goal scoring record. But Southampton were never going to be a top 5 or a top 6 team, or even a top 10 team sometimes. Let me get some of you guys' comments. Richard, no Liverpool are against Invincibles. I wish I wouldn't disagree with that. No debate. The only unbeaten team is the best team ever. Yeah. All hatred for Liverpool's side, but I always say 1,000% Henderson shouldn't be in that team. I agree. Carol, well, we beat Liverpool twice now, and our team now are nowhere near the Invincibles. Spot on. That's like me putting Jemba in a team ahead of Petito for Overmars. And that would never happen. But yeah, guys, then I'm gonna drop your last question. I'm gonna round up soon. But I'm gonna fit my final thing. I'm gonna say, firstly, thank you for tuning in. Thanks for the comments and the questions. But what I'm gonna say before I go is to talk about Mikel Arteta, and I've raised this point as well. Good evening, chat. Good night. Cheers, Tony. What I want to say is about Mikel Arteta. Now, I've mentioned this before, and I'm going to say it again. I'm going to keep saying it because I think it's relevant as an Arsenal fan. Anybody remembers the documentary Best of Enemies with Patrick Vieira and Roy Keane? For anyone that has never seen that, they need to watch it. It's an unbelievable, fascinating documentary. And Gabriel Clark, who was the presenter, was asking Patrick Vieira. Good evening, chat. Henderson's FA Gold. There's a lot of goal. Robin Grant, cheers, bruv. Henderson is the FA Golden Boy. There's always one. Robin, you know what? There's a lot of Golden Boys, I would say, in terms of when it comes to the England national team. Yeah, that let's just say there's a little bit of favoritism there. And I'm being very polite because I could really go in on some players. But now, yeah, what I'm saying about that documentary. Gabriel Clark asked Patrick Vieira what was Arsene Wenger's greatest strength and greatest weakness. And it's interesting that Patrick Vieira had the same answer for both questions. And he said trust. And it's true because Wenger put too much trust into the players. And ultimately, your trust in the same group of players, they will let you down. And I think with Mikel Arteta, why we're so positive as Arsenal fans is because we can see green shoots of recovery, but that needs to come with the right backing. And that's where I'm very dubious. But Arteta, in terms of the actual playing style for Arsenal, Arteta's not playing. If you're not on board, remember he said, non-negotiables. If you're not on board, you're not playing. I don't get the impression Arteta is someone that deals with sentiment. I think sometimes, and I think he looks at it and thinks, you know what? I've only been in the job since December. I know who I can trust. I know who I can't trust. You know, in a 38-game season, can you, us as Arsenal fans, be honest with yourself? When you look through the squad, yes, we still got time for transfers to come in and people to go out. When you look through this squad over the recent years, because you've got players that have been there anything from 3 to 4 to 5 years plus, can you trust this squad over a course of a 38-game season to get us top 4 football? The only players I trust, I'll be honest with you, if you disagree with me, disagree with me. The 2 goalkeepers, Tierney, Saka, Aubameyang, and Martinelli. And that's only 6 players. Now, I'm not saying that because I'm not saying that to be negative. I'm saying it because I'm being realistic. I see what I see. It's about trusting these group of players. So when we had a Ceballos do really well towards, from the start of Project Restart, and Xhaka's, people talk about what's that word again? Redemption, and Mustafi play well. Yes, you want a manager bounce in terms of players playing well. That normally happens when a manager goes in. Normally, most of the time. But you can't. These guys have been at Arsenal for years and have consistently let down 3 to 4 different managers. I don't trust them, to be honest with you. And I don't take pleasure in saying that, but it's true. Like I said before, you look at our last 2 Premier League campaigns in terms of goals against. We have conceded more than 93 plus goals. How on earth are we going to get top 4 or compete again with those kind of statistics? What I like of Arteta is that he sets us up with a plan. There's an idea and a pattern of play, particularly against the big teams. Does he want to continue with playing three at the back? I'm not so sure. He probably could with the acquisitions that have come in, particularly now. But the reason why, for me, we went to a three at the back is because we conceded too many shots at goal. We wasn't defensively solid. And to be honest, that's the reason why Ceballos and Xhaka were playing better, because they had more protection, because you've got two wing backs and you've got three centre backs. So if you're not playing well within that system, then when are you going to play well? So Arteta's not stupid. I know, I 100% believe he doesn't go, he probably doesn't go to bed thinking about it, but he knows who to trust. Yes, you've got to put out 11 players and get a team out. But in terms of trusting these players, guys, trust me, man, that's why people get frustrated in the transfer market, because we know deep down, if we're being honest, it's not Mesut Ozil FC, it's not Granit Xhaka FC, it's not Mustafi FC, it's Arsenal Football Club, man. We've had much bigger and better players play for this football club than some of these guys that have been here in the last few years, who've done greater things and deserve the accolades. I'm not sure these group of players deserve the accolades or maybe the pedestal that they're put upon when they've been inconsistent for quite a few years under different managers. So, yeah, guys, I'm going to go through comments. I'm going to wrap up. So it's just over an hour. Robin, yeah, it's gone through that. Anything Arsenal? Cheers for tuning in. Arteta's more ruthless than Wenger, 100%. You can see it. Sometimes when I see Arteta after a press conference, when he lost certain games, lost to Brighton, and you could see in his face, he just looked vexed. You could see it in his eyes, man, like when he's ready to rip into them guys. I know when we played Leeds in the FA Cup, Leeds should have smacked us in the first half. They should have been 2-3 up. So at halftime, I reckon Arteta, and I think Reece Nelson said it after the game, he said, yeah, he ripped into them and they deserved it. But yeah, he's more ruthless, 100%. What's that saying now? I'd say yes if we didn't have Europa League. Okay. That documentary is mad. I could tell you that hate is sitting in the same room. Robin, I'm sure his wife is sick of talking tactics. You know what? I don't think Arteta's really. He probably does take his work home with him, but yeah, I think he probably chills out when he gets home, man. I agree with those 6 players. We need a minimum of 14 if you want to get top 4 and win Europa League, let alone challenge for the title. Carol, 100%. Because Arsenal fans have to be honest, man. Like, that's why, you know what? When I did my first podcast and I was talking about Mesut Ozil, there's one particular guy took issue with me saying that, under certain managers he's been dropped, but he doesn't lie. Like, he's our talisman. And I think with the way Arteta wants the team to play and how he wants to set up the team, to me, there's no room for Mesut Ozil. If I'm being 100% honest, I don't think there is going forward. That's my personal opinion. But no, Gary's true. I agree that them 6 players, they're the only ones that I trust. I'll be honest with you. So, guys, yeah, I'm going to wrap up now, just over an hour. Thanks for joining for my Q&A. Hope you enjoyed the content. Thank you for the questions and the comments. I hope I answered it to the best of your ability. Guys, like I said, over 100 subscribers now, on the road to 200. Smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, share my content, get the word out there. Look out for more Q&As. I've got some potential interesting podcasts coming up. Just need to do a bit more sort of fine tuning. Very different to what you might think it's going to be, but I won't say too much. I'm going to keep it stum. It's good. The only guess I'll give away is it's about the future generation of football fans and possible players. That's all I'll say. But guys, Arteta's going to have to work magic with his. Let me get these last comments and I'm going to log off. Arteta's going to have to work his magic who we've got, because we won't be spending much money. It's true, and hopefully with less cooks in the kitchen in terms of Raul going and less people on Edu, more control, and Arteta, hopefully, not controlling the way that Wenger had it, which was crazy to him. For him to have that much control of the football club was insane. It's like a dictatorship. But yeah, hopefully Arteta will have a big say. Robin, loyalty, cheers, mate. Anything Arsenal, nice one, mate. Much appreciated. Keep tuning in. Carol, my loyal supporter, thank you. Sending you a big hug, thank you. Guys, that is me, Albert JT, over and out. # live Q&A. Come on, you Gunners.